Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. It's been a while since I last did a Minecraft video, but it's also been a while since I last did a video for my channel, as I've been busy with college and other stuff. And yeah, I apologize if I've been out of action for long, but yeah, a lot of college stuff and other things have piled up. But I'm back. I'm happy to be back here, and let's get rolling. Um, as you can see, I'm about to close the football stadiums on as football season is over, and these stadiums won't open again until March when soccer returns. Well, in my in my country, soccer only starts up again in March. Elsewhere in the world, soccer keeps going anytime. But yeah, it's just that since I live in America, of course, soccer doesn't start until March. So this stadium will be empty until soccer returns in March. Alright, with that being said, let's get to football stuff. The NFL, or should I say the NFL playoffs. Let's start off with the AFC side. The Texans beat the Chargers in the wild card. Justin Herbert decided to play terrible, with lots of turnovers that the Texans took advantage of to win that game. The Steelers' tradition of being a first-round exit continues as they lost to the Ravens. And the Bills blew out the Broncos, it was the Broncos' first playoff appearance since Super Bowl 50. Moving on to the divisional round. The Chiefs beat the Texans. The Texans were no match for the Chiefs in that game. And the Ravens lost to the Bills in an epic close game against in an epic close shootout. Mark Andrews dropped what would have been a game-winning touchdown catch, and the Bills moved on as a result. Alright, and that brings us to the AFC Championship game, where the Chiefs beat the Bills in one of their many regular season and playoff shootouts. This time, on fourth down in the final minutes of the game, Dalton Kincaid of the Bills dropped a critical catch that could have gotten the Bills their first down, and the Bills lost that one as a result. So the Chiefs are moving on to the Chiefs moved on to the Super Bowl as a result, much to everyone's chagrin. I'll talk more about that after I talk about the NFC playoffs. First, right, the Rams blew out the Vikings 27-9. After surprising the NFL world with a good season, the Vikings curse continued. The Vikings curse struck again. Sam Darnold decided to play terrible in that one with turnovers and take and and he took lots of sacks in that game, and it was over for the Vikings right here, and on top of that, that game wasn't even in the Rams' home stadium. It got moved to State Farm Stadium in Arizona due to the wildfires occurring in SoCal. So it wasn't really at home. It was somewhere, dude. It was moved somewhere as an emergency precaution. Alright. Alright. The Packers lost to the Eagles in another NFC wildcard game. Jordan Love was terrible in that game. He got injured. He got injured at the end. To be fair, but he was still terrible in that game nonetheless. The Packers were hit with lots of injuries as well, but the whole team was terrible in that game as well. So the Eagles moved on, and on to Commanders versus Bucks. It was a close shootout with the Commanders kicking the game-winning field goal at the end to seal that game. It was the Commanders' first playoff win since 2005, when they were still known as the Redskins, and that was also when Dan Snyder was the owner. And now that Dan Snyder's out of the picture, the Commanders can finally be free from his reign of terror. And on top of that, if that's not enough, if that wasn't enough, it's also been said that Snyder is pissed and bitter that the Commanders are already doing well with a better owner under Josh Harris, that says a lot when Snyder was so shitty as an owner that he's pissed that the team is doing well without him. And that says a lot about him. Alright. On to the divisional round. The Commanders won against the Lions to get another playoff win. The Lions had to the Lions got the first round bye, the number one spot in the NFC and NFC North, and only to lose to the Commanders in the divisional round. Lots of injuries piled up on the defense, and Jared Goff had a subpar performance in that one. He got hurt in the end. He got hurt though, but his performance but his performance left a lot to be desired in that game. Right. And the stadium is closed until March, when soccer comes back. Right. See you later till March. Right, on to Rams versus Eagles. That game took place in snowy conditions. it was a it was a it was a, it was a close game, and and the Rams tried to come back against the against the Eagles in the final minutes, but they lost, and that brings us to Commanders versus Eagles. The Eagles defeated the Commanders in a blowout to move on to Super Bowl 59 in a Super Bowl 57 rematch against the Chiefs. All right. It's a the second time. It's the Eagles' second time making the Super Bowl within this decade. Um, that game will be on Fox with Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady. Yes, that Tom Brady doing commentary, and Kendrick Lamar will do a halftime show performance in that game as well. All right, I'll be right back. I'll head to another stadium. All right, we're here. Time to close another stadium. All right. So speaking of the rematch, a lot of people weren't happy about that rematch. Well, similar to when everyone was pissed about having to see the Cavaliers go against the Warriors every year in the finals last decade. Pretty much a decade ago. Yeah, but it was a rematch that no one asked for. It's not just because. There are lots of reasons why a lot of people hate that rematch. First, it's between two fan bases that are despised by everyone, and second, most importantly, the Chiefs are trying to go for a three-peat. The first time a team has, if they successfully pull off the three-peat, it'll be the first time that a team has completed the three-peat within the Super Bowl era. Well, but they're not the first team to do. But they won't be the first team to do that though. If that happens, the actual first team to three-peat was the Packers. Was the Packers from 1965 to 1967, but only their last two wins came in Super Bowls 1 and 2. So keep in mind that the Packers three-peat in the 60s doesn't count as being part of the Super Bowl era. Just to be clear, from a historical perspective, or if I'm missing something, or if I'm inaccurate, I might be wrong. But point is, a lot of the fans are gonna be pissed when that happens. Yeah, with the new dynasty running the NFL, they've become so sick and tired of the Chiefs dynasty that they'd rather see another team win this. They'd rather see the Eagles win win this year's Super Bowl. And another reason is because another reason the fans would hate to see the Chiefs win this year's game is because they've they've been accused of getting favorable calls from refs. To be fair, some of the calls have been justified, while others have been plain old bullshit calls that were just awful. Well, the refs are terrible in all sports. Let's just put it simply. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're gonna move on to another city, to another stadium to close after we check out this city. After we check out this arena for a little bit, and I'll be right back. Alright, third stadium to close to wrap up the football season. Yeah, a lot of the dynasties tend to get accused of getting favorable calls from the refs, but yeah, that just goes along with a dynasty that dominates any sports league. So, yeah. So with that being said, who am I going for in Super Bowl 59? I'm gonna say the Eagles, just to see another team win the Lombardi Trophy. But because this is the Chiefs, it might be trying to repeat. We'll have to see how it goes down. But like I said, if the Chiefs repeat, the entire NFL world, well, specifically the fans, will be extremely pissed about it. Alright. But with that being said, let's see who takes home the Lombardi Trophy this year. And let's see who emerges as the winner. Okay. Alright, enough football talk for now. Let's get to the NBA news. In fact, the NBA news I'm about to get to will shock you, and you're not gonna believe it. The Mavericks just traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. I'm not even joking. It actually happened. And I was even shocked when I first heard of the trade. In fact, it legit even made my stomach feel. I legit had butterflies in my stomach when I heard other people talking about that trade. I'm not even lying when I say that. But that was how I felt and reacted to that news. The NBA world was completely shocked and blindsided by that trade. Not only because it was out of the blue, but they never imagined that the Mavs would trade away Luka so soon. Just 1 year after he took the Mavs to the NBA Finals. And the trade was so sudden that both Luka and AD didn't even know they got traded until right when it happened. There wasn't any communication between these guys and their respective front offices at all leading up to the trade. And so it wasn't just the fans that were blindsided by the trade. It was these players that I just mentioned that were complete. It it was these guys that I mentioned that were completely caught off guard by that trade when it happened. And with that said, that leads us to a good question. Why did that trade happen? Well, beats me, but there's lots of reasons for it. But it's right. Third stadium was closed till March when soccer comes around, right? Um, but for the sake of time, the one of the reasons for that is probably because the Mavs front office doesn't care anymore. They don't want to. Both the owner Miriam Adelson and GM Nico Harrison, if that's his correct name. These two people decided to stop giving a shit about putting a win about building a winning team around Luka, and that was what happened. And Mark Cuban used to own the Mavericks. He was responsible for the Mavericks' success in the beginning of the 2000s in the first place. And he sold a stake of the he sold his majority stake in the team to Miriam Adelson. So Mark Cuban is no longer in charge of the Mavs basketball operations, meaning he no longer has any say in any of the front office moves and decisions. So, yeah, under Adelson's watch, the trade happened, and it's become one of the most shocking trades in NBA history. Not just NBA history, but in sports history. I'm still in shock and disbelief about it. We'll have to see how that trade turns out with as time goes on, but yeah, I'm still in shock and disbelief about that trade. So is everyone. Alright, that's enough sports talk for now. I know I talked about sports throughout the whole video, but this is where I'm going to stop at for now. There's a lot more in sports to talk about, but that'll be in the next video. So with that, as always, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.